Today, we're going to dive deep into a story of incredible courage and defiance. It's all drawn from Nawal el-Saдаwi's powerful book, Memoirs from the Women's Prison. This is a journey into the heart of what it means to resist, even when you have nothing left.
Right from the very start, the book kicks off with this dedication. And wow, it tells you everything you need to know. Saʻadawi isn't just telling her story, she's making a statement. This is a shout out to everyone who knows that true freedom is sometimes worth a cage.
All right, let's go back to that moment. Picture it. Cairo, September 6th, 1981. For Nawal el-Saдаwi, everything is about to change, and it all begins with a single violent sound.
So, what was her world like right before it was shattered? Well, she was a writer, completely lost in her work. She even describes her novel as this intense, demanding love affair. It's a quiet, intellectual world of ideas and creativity.
And then, this. The piece is just obliterated by a command. It's not a request, it's an order. The violence isn't just in the fists hitting the door, it's in the complete violation of her space, her home, her life.
So you're probably wondering, what did she do? What was her big crime? A conspiracy? A plot to overthrow the government? Nope. Get this. The official reason for this raid was a university lecture she gave 9 years earlier. It just goes to show how random and absurd state power can be.
Now think about this. She's surrounded by armed men who have just smashed their way into her home. And what's her first instinct? Her first act of defiance? It's not for herself, it's for her words. When an officer grabs her manuscript, this is what she screams. She's protecting her ideas, the very thing they came to crush.
And then, the officer spells it out. He connects her arrest directly to the President Anwar Sadat, who'd just given a major speech kicking off a huge crackdown. This wasn't just a random arrest. She was being swept up in a massive political purge.
So, from the chaos of her apartment, we move into the dark reality of the prison. This is a place specifically designed to strip away every single piece of who you are.
The very first step in that dehumanization process, taking away her name. She writes, "I became detainee number 1536. Just like that, she's not Nawal el-Saдаwi, the famous writer, the doctor, the mother. She's a number, an object.
And the physical reality was, just as brutal. She describes the cell with these gut-wrenching details. It wasn't just about being locked up. It was a constant assault on the senses. The filth, the smell, the insects, all designed to break your spirit.
But, and this is amazing, something starts to happen. These prisoners, we're talking leftists, Islamists, intellectuals, peasants, all thrown together, they find something in common. And it wasn't some grand political ideology. It was the fight for basic human dignity. Their first act of solidarity was demanding working toilets and clean bread.
And that brings us to the real core of this memoir. Because it's in this place, where she's seemingly powerless, that Saddaway figures out what real resistance looks like and where her true power comes from.
So let me ask you this. When you have absolutely nothing left, no rights, no freedom, no voice, what's your weapon?
She finds her answer by thinking about another prisoner, a peasant woman nicknamed Fatia the Murderess, who killed her abusive husband with a hoe to save her own life. Saʻadawi sees this incredible connection between Fatia's hoe and her own pen. Both are weapons, you see, wielded in self-defense.
And she puts it this way, and this line is just so powerful. She realizes that writing the truth, speaking out against power, well, that's not some gentle academic activity. It takes a raw, primal courage, the same courage it takes to fight for your very life. The pen and the hoe are one. So even when they took away her pen and paper, the act of writing in her own mind became her lifeline. Prison is designed to make time feel like an endless, crushing void. But by creating stories, by structuring her thoughts, she could fight back, slashing time sword-like into pieces and reclaiming her own mind.
And just when you think you've settled into the grim reality of prison life, bam! The world outside the walls just completely explodes, and everything changes in a flash.
I mean, just look at how fast everything happens. It's whiplash. On September 6th, the most powerful man in Egypt locks her up. Exactly 1 month later, on October 6th, that same man is assassinated. And then, just a little over a month after that, she's released. The entire reason for her imprisonment, just gone.
The moment the news of Sadat's death reaches the cell, it's like a shockwave. She describes this scene of pure, raw, emotional chaos. This wasn't just a political event for them. It was deeply personal. The man who put them there, the symbol of their oppression, was suddenly gone. It was just this explosion of disbelief and joy.
So their oppressor is dead. The prison doors are about to swing open. But what does freedom even feel like after you've been through something like this?
The way she's released is just surreal. She gets pulled from her cell, and she's thinking, okay, here we go, another interrogation. But no, she's driven to the presidential palace. In a single morning, she goes from being detainee 1536 to a guest of the new president. It's unbelievable.
And this is her biggest takeaway, the profound lesson she learns. It's that those of us who are free, we're all walking around wearing this invisible crown, and we don't even know it's there. You can only see that crown shining on everyone's head when you're the one who's had it taken away.
So in the end, Saʻadawi's whole experience leaves us with this one giant question. You have this massive state with all its police and its prisons declaring war on one woman's ideas. And in the end, the head of that state is gone in an instant. But her words, written in secret on toilet paper, survive for the entire world to read. So what's really more dangerous, an idea or a state?